My name is Musa Bajo. I'm the chief guide of the Katchali crocodile pool, and I've been looking after the crocodiles for 10 years. And right now I have 100 crocodiles. As you can see, some of them lying down behind me, and they only eat fish in here. I have to feed them with 250 kilos of fish a day, and that being the reason why it's possible that people can touch them, and which are no problem. They only get violent when they are hungry. Right, Katchali crocodile pool is in the Gambia, West African part of the West African countries. The Gambia is known as one of the most peaceful nations and smiling coast of Africa. During the high season time, thousands of tourists that visited the Gambia will come here to visit this place too, because that's the only place in the Gambia where you can come and touch the crocodiles without trouble, without no problem. No scared, no post of threat from the crocodiles, because they're well looked after and they're well fed. Now I am appealing from government level to individuals, companies, private sectors for a support to maintain Katchali's sacred site, the sacred pool, feeding them, looking after them well, so that they can stay uh, how they are for a long time. We don't need to see them hungry. We need to preserve this place. So help's needed from any part, from any sectors, from government level to down, private individuals, anyone who want to support. We are highly waiting and welcome. And they only get violence when they are hungry. And like I said 6 months ago, because we don't have help from the government, it was difficult. I would say like a year since March, and we don't have any government support. It was so difficult to feed them at the time, so we were even not allowing people to come around them because that was a bit more scared. But we are feeding them now because some good people are supporting bit by bit, but we also need more support. And as I said, 100 of them, they live up to 100 years old, and they will be 2.5 meters long here. The oldest one is 76 years old, and his name is Charlie. He's the oldest one. He's still alive, and many people would think he's dead, and that's not the case. He's still alive because they live up to 100. Also, I took their eggs sometimes last year to control the population. Uh, for certain reasons, because I have to control the population. There's not much enough space, and also we have because of this financial constraint, the population has to be controlled. Otherwise, that would be more tougher time for us to feed them. Before the COVID, everything was going fine. We were able to get fish normally for them, and when the COVID came, the season was stopped, and was no flight, no tourists coming in. This is where I started to face some difficulties of feeding them, because we don't have any income, and there was no support at all. We don't have any support from the government because of the COVID, and there was no entrance or tourists visiting this place. So I have tougher time to feed them. So these are the difficulties that we are facing right this moment, and about this place to feed, look after, and we have to preserve these things because this is the most tourist destination for our country, and that's the most historical, one of the most important place for the visitors, tourists to visit here. So to preserve these is one of my priority to do that, and this is why I'm appealing to everyone to join to support this place and to keep this place alive. All right, as I said, the eggs has been taken away to control the population for certain reasons. It's because there's not enough space in there, and also for financial constraint. That's why the population has to be controlled. Because normally they lay eggs outside. They will dig holes and put the eggs there, and it will be buried for 3 months. But what makes this place very important is a sacred site. People come here to pray spiritually, ritually. Also help women for fertility, and those are barren, they do not have a child, they come here. That's why we have an enclosement there, and the water will be taken by bucket. We get fresh water from there, and the woman will go there to wash her body, and this works. Katchali Crocodile Pool has been founded 1600 years ago by the family called the Bojan family, and the Bojan family, that the first family to came to Bakau here. And when they came, they found that the pond behind me was a small well, hand-up well. And this family settled down somewhere else here. And the two brothers in the family are called Tamba Bojang and Jali Bojang, with their sister by the name Mai Bojang. So as we know in Africa, women will do mostly domestic jobs, works at homes. So Mai is the one that came to the well every morning to fetch water, until one fine morning she finds another woman who was sitting very much closer to the well, and she looked so much worried. And she asks her what is the trouble. The woman's reply that her baby fell down to the well and she needs someone to help. And this is how Mai said, don't worry, my brothers are here. I'll call them to come and join to help you to get your baby out. And Mai ran to call Tamba and Jali to came to help the woman. They don't know her. That was the very first day they met her. And Jali, as a younger brother, went down to the well to get this baby out. Inside of the well, there was a big rock there. And this baby was sitting on that big rock. So to pick this baby up, in Mandinka, they call it Kachika. This is how this place name came about, Katchali. And when they get this baby out from the well and it was handed over back to the mother, she was so happy and explained herself to these three family members that she dropped her own baby there to test these people, to see how good they are and to examine them. Luckily, she finds them they are very good people. And she told them, I am a gene. This place here belongs to me and my family, but today I want to hand over the place to you to look after for certain reasons, because the secret behind this well that you don't know, that it is a holy well and sacred. The water there is a holy water. This will help people in generations to come. Those are barren women, sick people, people looking for blessing or good luck. There was no crocodile at all, but the woman told them there will be crocodiles someday, and these crocodiles will be controlled by the spiritual power of this place, and you have to look after them. That was the promise the Bojan took, that they will do, and they were going to keep their promises. And the woman took her child, and she vanished, means she disappeared. They did not see her again. Sorry. A few months later, Mai came to fetch water and she saw two small crocodiles in the well. She went back to the two brothers and told them. And they came, they see this crocodile to witness, yeah, there's two crocodiles and they have to keep their promise as they're told. And now Tamba and Jali, at the time their profession was a fisherman, because this was not far from the sea. So they go fishing. So during that time when they go for fishing, when they caught fish, they brought it here for these two small crocodiles to eat. So they grow up big, year in, year out. They reproduce by laying eggs to have new babies, up to this time of my generation. And we have 100 crocodiles. And that's why we have this small enclosement, as I showed you there. And where still now people come to practice this belief in here, then barren women will come to look for blessings so that they can have a baby. And it doesn't only stop to the barren women, but also to the people that are looking for blessing, protection, or sick people. They still come here for those things. And it still works for them, because that's the belief in the mind, and that's the traditional rituals. And it works for people, and it helps them too, for that belief. This is how Katchali came about. Until date, the Bojan family are still looking after this place, and they still feed the crocodiles with fish. Katchali Crocodile Pool, as I said, I look after them for 10 years, and there's much more difficulties we have here. So many, but to name few, one of those is to feeding them and to look after them very well, and to have a better sitting place is also here, because feeding them is too expensive. They're eating 250 kilos of fish a day. That's expensive. So without having a government fund, I find it tougher, very, very much tougher to do that. So I am personally appealing to people that want to do it. They can personally contact me, Musa Bajo, the chief guide of the Crocodile Pool. It's one of the most safest places that you can come and trust them and touch them. So for reason is, as I said, they're only gonna be violent when they are hungry. Hence, they're not hungry. Absolutely, there's no threat posted. because over 40 years since tourists has been coming to this country, there's never been any incident whereby the crocodiles have been biting people in here. And because of they always have their food to eat, absolutely fine. So that's the place you can do that. That's the only place you can see. They are very much open outside, no behind the cages. So that shows you that how safety this place is, that people can come and touch the crocodile. The only advice that I give all the visitors here is do not touch their head, because that's the most sensitive part of their body. If you don't touch their head, you're giving them much respect, they are fine. They're absolutely friendly. You can touch them from back to the tail, no problem. And have a nice, wonderful day with the crocodiles is no problem. So everybody is welcome to the crocodile pool to do this.